Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our show, Words of Wellness. My name is Yassir Al-Manawi. I'm a clinical therapist, and again I'm going to be your host for today's episode. Today we're going to talk about love. Love for God, love for Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, love for our families, ourselves, or earthly possessions. This is a very important issue because it has a lot of angles to it, and it has a lot of desires to it too. What we need to do is that we need to watch ourselves carefully. We also need to watch our spiritual life very carefully, not only carefully, but very carefully. What's going to happen is that I am going to recite a verse from the Quran, and then we're going to talk about it. This verse has a lot of points to it. So I'm going to talk about it psychologically, and I'm going to talk about it from a values point of view, and I'm also going to talk about it from value structure and restructure and a philosophy of life. That's what we're going to do. So let me read the verse for you first. It's from Surah At-Tawbah, ayah number 24, which says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, say, O Muhammad, if your fathers, your sons, your brothers, your wives, your relatives, wealth you have obtained, business you fear to decline, and dwellings with which you are pleased are more beloved to you than Allah and His Messenger, and jihad in His cause, then wait until Allah executes His command. And Allah does not guide the defiant, disobedient people. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. I read this verse, I read this ayah, and suddenly I feel like there is a lot of respect, not only for the spiritual life that I'm supposed to live, but a lot of respect for the life that God has given me. In psychology, what we do is that we have what we call value structure and restructure. What values? A lot of people come to treatment and we talk about values. They come and they are totally lost in their lives. They don't have any aspirations, they don't have any goals, they don't want to do anything. So we start restructuring their values. And to talk about values, what are values? Values are something that is positive. It has to be positive, it cannot be negative. If you ask me why, I tell you because human brain is not able to take or understand negative information. It has to be positive, meaning that it has to be something you're looking forward to. It has to be something that you want to do in your life. It has to be a goal. But let's see, where did values come from? Values usually come from your fathers, grandfathers, or grandparents, their grandparents. So we can say ancestors, and you can trace it all the way back. You're going to find out that it is closely connected to spirituality. I have yet to see any patient that I've treated in the past 15 years who come and say, well, I value killing people, or I value torturing people, or I value stealing, or I value anything like that. All of their values are actually positive. You find them, they value honesty, they value helping others, they value respect, some of them value money, which is actually okay, because money is a very important issue. So anyway, my point is, values in the clinical setting is closely connected to what? It's closely connected to spirituality. Because a human being without their values is a human being who does not know himself or herself. A human being without their values is a human being without philosophy in life. And a human being without philosophy in life is a human being like a feather in the wind. Some wind will take him east, and some wind will take him west. They don't have any directions in their lives. So let's see. Now we're going to go back to love. God created us, and He created love. And He also created our desire to love others, to love everything in this worldly or world that we live in. If I get more attached to everything in this world than my spiritual being, what happens is that you find me getting more upset, getting more angry, getting more... I develop an anxiety, I develop depression, I develop a lot of psychological issues. Why? Because I always am looking for things that are not going to last. And other issues that are long-lasting is the spiritual issues. And that's what we teach in psychology. That's what we teach in modern psychology. And ironically enough, what you find out is that a person, when they find out about their values, they find themselves. And when they find themselves, they're standing on a solid ground. And that's why, for a long time, I didn't understand the surah. And I said, how can I love something that's not there? I can't. My love for God and my love for Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is bigger than my love for myself. Why? If you think about it logically, it actually a process. It is a process. My love for spirituality, it comes from it, or as a result of my love to spirituality, is my love to myself. And then my love to myself, then I'll be able to love others. And then when I love others, I'll be able to give others. But just imagine, if I don't love God, then I don't love myself. If I don't love Prophet Muhammad, then I don't love myself. If I don't love myself, how can I love others? There is no way. I cannot give something that I do not have. So we have to take the process from the top to the bottom. Loving God, loving Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, loving myself, loving my family, my kids, my mother, my father, loving my work, and then everything else, friends or whatsoever you have after that. And that's the whole process of values. So I would really like for you to think about your own values today. Write them. Write them down on a piece of paper. And then put them in priority. Prioritize them. And then after that, you'll find out if these values are really who you are or what you are, then you have gained something. Again, I thank you very much for your time, and I hope that we have gained some information today, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.